Hey there, I'm Matt Nemes with Focal Fuse, where the goal is to help you be seen, heard, and understood with captivating visuals. This is the video series where I learn, apply, and teach branding, design, and video tips. So today I want to talk to you guys about 5 different skills that I think are essential for freelance designers to make it in the freelance world. When I first started out, I know I was all over the place and I didn't really have a system that was in place that was allowing me to get from where I was to where I wanted to be. And the same with the customer. I didn't have a process that was allowing me to help them the way that I knew I could. So once you learn these 5 skills, I think that you'll be in a better place to get your clients to where they want to be and really get them results with reducing the stress and time wasted in the process. So the first skill I want to talk about is understanding your basic design principles. I feel like it's essential for all graphic designers to understand these principles and to incorporate them into their work so that they can stand out above the rest and for their work to be seen and heard and understood. So the basic design principles that I like to focus on and incorporate in all the work that I do are focusing on hierarchy, contrast, balance, alignment, white space, and typography. Hierarchy is basically having a big, medium, and small element to separate and to provide differentiation between the elements that are on your page. Having contrast in your designs is huge. This could mean either having big elements versus small elements. It could mean having bright colors on dark colors. This is all to make it more legible and to make your message stand out and be effective. Having balance in your design is all about visual weight. You want to make sure that the eye reads from one way to the other. It naturally reads from left to right. So you want to make sure that you have balance in your design and that your eye isn't being drawn to one place unintentionally. Now I say unintentionally because every design, you can be intentional with what you do and you can focus the eye in a specific place if that helps you get your message across. So it's totally up to you, but overall, your graphic designs and layouts in general should incorporate balance. So alignment is a design principle that can refer to having any of the design elements being left justified, centered, or right aligned. And what this does is it allows you to create almost a grid to where you can keep your design elements and you can keep all of your information organized and easy to read. And the more you stagger things and the more you don't follow a grid or an alignment, the harder it is to read and the more confusing it is. And this ultimately leads to you not getting your message across clearly, which is the whole point of design, is to communicate a message effectively. Having white space can be very beneficial to get your message across effectively, especially if it's a very simple layout or composition and you have one graphic design element or typography as the center of attention, to draw the eye to that first and to get it noticed because there's so much plain white space around it. It also creates for really clever designs and logos, as you sometimes see a different shape where the negative space makes another shape. This can add a really cool dynamic and effect and sometimes give emotional intelligence to your designs. Typography is a really important design principle that could have a video completely to itself and have a whole course to itself. It's such a big beast, but it's really important to remember to be thoughtful with your typography and to use typography that's appropriate when you're creating designs in order to convey your message effectively and the most visually pleasing way. So when I first started freelancing, I really didn't have a process. I just would do it after work for fun and create designs for friends or music covers or anything that I could find, basically to enhance my skills and get better at what I was doing. So further down the line, I understood how important it was to incorporate a design process that you can use to be consistent and cohesive and to ensure that your results are going to be similar and duplicatable. And it really just helps you get the most work done in the least amount of time, and it helps you streamline the process. Having an established design process will not only help you do better work faster and smarter and probably save you time, but it will also ensure that your client is able to be guided through that process with ease and in a way that they understand so that they can get their message out and be understood and create engagement around that design. So the third skill that I think every freelance designer needs to have is how to be an effective communicator. Not only in the work that you do and effectively communicating your message, but you also need to be able to effectively communicate your process in the business aspect to your client. because everyone knows what they do, but your clients don't know what you do. So it's your job as a freelance designer to explain your process, to explain what you're doing throughout the process so that they can be on the same page and have understanding with what you do and ultimately build trust between you guys. Because it's all about serving people and building relationships. And if you don't have that, then you're not going to have any work. So the fourth skill that I think every freelance designer needs to have is discipline, and more importantly, self-discipline. Because no one's going to wake you up in the morning and make you go do these projects. And a lot of times in the graphic design world, people like to procrastinate and wait till the final deadline. You know who you are. And we don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we're on top of everything and we're getting the work done and we have the discipline that it takes to get our stuff done on time and to do it the right way. So one of the ways that I incorporate self-discipline into my own schedule is by waking up early at the same time every day, trying to get the most important tasks done first. I usually focus on 3 projects a day that are top priority, and then I follow those up depending on how the process goes with other things that come, other appointments that I need to do or calls that I need to take, and just to try to be disciplined enough to get the work done and to understand that everyone's on a timeline and a deadline, and that needs to be respected. The 5th skill that I think every freelance designer needs to know is how to be okay with failure. And this was a tough one for me because I always like to help people and make sure that people are happy with stuff, but you can't always make everyone happy. Sometimes you're going to fail, sometimes you're not going to do the work the right way, or the message that you communicate isn't going to be effective. So being okay with failure is just one of the things that makes you better. It's going to, in the long run, make you learn a lot more lessons if you really look at those failures as lessons instead of failures. Just be okay with it. It's going to happen, and it's not going to happen every time, but when it does, you'll be prepared to take what the circumstances that happened were and learn from them and apply them differently the next time you go about the process. So these are just 5 of the skills that I think all freelance designers need to know in order to have a successful design business and in order to ensure that your life and your customer or client's life is stress-free. So these are just 5 of the skills that I think are essential for every freelance designer to know in order to have a successful business and in order to ensure that your life and your customer or client's life is stress-free. So with that being said, be on the lookout for more videos. If you like this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, or share this with anyone who needs to see it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.